Now that you
Sort
showed
of.
him how to do it.
Amazing how it works.
Well, the first thing is you plug in the umbilical for the camera.
Close enough.
Chris, do you want to?
Bye.
Are you ready?
I guess so.
Family night.
Family night, okay, go ahead.
I told.
Oh.
Okay. For the tape room, this is Ellen Martin. Ellen, you had your baby at home. Why did you decide to do that?
Well, I felt that hospitals are basically for treating illnesses and disease, and I never felt that pregnancy was a sickness. I felt marvelous during my pregnancy. I was very ecstatic during the whole time. And I wanted to be in my own home environment with people around me who were really vitally interested in the fact I was having a baby and could help me celebrate that. Rather than in a hospital where it is relatively impersonal.
Weren't you a little afraid of having your baby at home? Were you afraid that you would not get the right kind of medical care?
I really wasn't afraid because my doctor had told me that my pregnancy was progressing very normally, and there was the stipulation that I was to be in with a 15-minute radius of a hospital, but I really never felt any fear that anything would go wrong.
Do you think you would have been more comfortable at a hospital?
No, I would definitely be more comfortable at home because we made a beautiful event out of it. We played music. We had some friends in, some close friends to help us. And it was a very lovely experience. I think I would have felt very uncomfortable in a hospital with people who didn't know me, who were very accustomed to birth, whereas it was my first child and it was such a glorious experience for me that I wanted to be with people who really loved me and could share that with me.
I take it you would do this again for your second child?
I definitely would do it again. I think that for Ethan, I hope that it's benefited him tremendously.
What difference did it make, do you think, having your baby at home? Okay. What difference did it make to Ethan and to your relationship you established with him to have him at home?
Well, that's hard to assess in that I have no comparison, but I would like to think that it has benefited him greatly in that he's been able to be with me from the second he was born. He was not put in a nursery where, as much as they may try, they can't really give the love and attention to an infant that a mother does.
Did you feel closer to him, do you think, by having him at home than you would have at a hospital?
I think so, because, like I say, he was with me immediately. No one was there to take him away. I could immediately nurse him and nurture him as I felt best and begin to care for him right in my own home without the transition from hospital to home. And I felt so much more comfortable and relaxed. I'm sure that he felt this in some way also.
Were you ever scared during the delivery that something was not going to go right?
Sure. I thought of possibilities if something went wrong, and I thought at one point that I would not like to have to get up and move to a hospital if anything was going wrong. But I think this is a normal fear that any woman would have. Any woman worries to some extent that something's going to be wrong with her baby. But this was a very minor fear of mine.
So during the night when your baby was born, you never felt like you'd made a mistake?
Oh, never, never. It was a very comfortable and safe feeling. My husband was right with me, and the doctor came and helped with the delivery, and it was just a very, very good feeling.
Did the doctor arrive on time?
He arrived in time for the baby to be born.
A little nervous waiting for him to arrive?
I was a little nervous, but it worked out for the best.
What did your parents think of your having a baby at home?
Well, they were rather horrified at first, but gradually they got used to the idea. My mother thought it was fine. My father was very nervous about it. But They got used to the idea.
Okay, thank you.
You can't get cutaways of her,
Right.
Except you might get one.
so just move them around, fold them around, fold them.
Rather than gripping the chair in
wait.
tear.
Just, okay, now fold them, take them and fold them.
Now what? Just do
Dude, like
things?
you're talking.
Not quite so dramatic, very tight on it.
You're thinking of.
Talk to her and use it.
Well,
What do you think?
I think they would probably
You can't use that
laugh a lot, and Daddy would think it was very weird and so forth. My nails look terrible. I hope he's not getting real close on my nails.
No, we don't. They look good.
They look wonderful. Okay.
So, do you want me to go on with your children? I see.
Oh, that you mentioned that. Yes. Tickle me home.
I need.
I went to the grocery store,
Couldn't find something.
and Brett and Karen and the baby came over, baby Justin, and just ran around and did this and that. And the dinner's in the oven.
Why didn't Elsa come for lunch to talk to me and tell me?
Because you called and she was having lunch at your house.
Oh, yeah.
And also Ethan, I can't think of anything to say.
Let me ask you, Chris.
Make it provocative.
Go.
This is Chris Martin. Chris, what did you think of the idea of having your first baby at home?
I thought it was a great idea.
Why?
Because Ellen and I had talked about it, and we felt that we had a mutual agreement in the sense that we felt that hospitals were generally built for sick people and that women having babies weren't necessarily sick.
What did you do the night the baby was born?
I comforted Ellen. I tried to make things the most comfortable I could for her. I tried to give her confidence. I tried to give her a sense of well-being, and I was hoping that the doctor would come immediately, if not sooner.
Were you a little nervous while you were waiting for the doctor to come?
Yes, I was nervous, but we had planned for this, and we had gone through the procedures that Dr. Eisenstein had told us to go through. So we shared the confidence that he imparted to us on each visit. And Ellen had a normal pregnancy, and she was progressing very well.
Was there ever a moment the night Ethan was born when you thought, oh, this was really a mistake and I wish we had gone to the hospital?
When the doctor, when we called the doctor and he said he would come, and then from that moment I hung up the phone until he got there, I was a little apprehensive because I thought Ellen would have the baby and I would be in the position to deliver it. And although we took Lamaze classes and read Le Boyer and books concerning childbirth, I didn't want to be put in that position, especially. But fortunately, the doctor came at the proper moment, and Ellen gave birth, and it was a very exhilarating experience.
How do you think it affected your relationship with Ethan to be right there when he was born?
Well, I felt that being as a family unit at the time of birth and playing an integral part in his delivery would be a good thing for me to do, and it would be a good thing for Ellen and Ethan and myself as a family unit.
And was it?
So far, I think it has. We're very close. There isn't any distancing in terms of our relationships with one another. And this is truly our home, and certainly Ethan's home, having been born here.
Okay, thank you. And let me ask you one more question. What about financial considerations? Was it any cheaper to have a baby at home?
Yes, it was, but that was one of the considerations. I can't recall the exact figures it would have required to have the baby in a hospital, but I did not have at that time the proper insurance coverage. And as it turns out, it was a very wise choice as far as we were concerned, to have the baby at home as well.
Okay. Just like you do with your hands when you talk. Talk to me. Tell me about the guy in the bus.
No.
I'll make a fist like it did. No, I'll open it. No, I don't need to show it to you. Just
Okay.
make it.
How about like that?
Yeah.
And then I'll go like this. But I don't want to...
Okay.
Here and look
Have
at
a
me,
conversation.
like I was still here. Okay. Talk to me.
Elizabeth, now let me ask you a few questions.
Yes, Mr.
In your field
Martin.
experience, do you
Yes.
find yourself directing more or producing more or reporting more now that you're working with Mort Krim?
I find myself surviving more, but you have to talk to me, so you think of what the answer might be, which I would be doing more.
Ask her another question, but make it a long one.
But make it a long one. What's the top news story of the day? If I turn on the 10 o'clock news, what will get first play?
What do you think?
Wasn't
The
long.
weather. I have no idea.
Tell me about your whole day. Start
All right.
this
It
morning.
wasn't long enough. Okay. I woke up this morning, rushed to class. My professor wasn't there. I had to take over the class until he came there. We did the history of television broadcasting and rules and regulations and stuff like that.
Get right around here.
All right.
Your light is killing me. Stop before my hair catches everywhere.
Why don't you get on the giraffe, Ethan?
Okay, I'll let you come in and play with him. Kneel down when you come in so that you know there's a height.
That's right. Where does that triangle go? The square. And where does the square go? That's right. Very good. That's very good. Yes, that's right. Where does the 6 go? There. Look, goes right there. Very good. You want to look at the puzzle? What's that? Teddy bear, yes. Give it a hug. That's nice. Horse, that's right. Uh-huh. And Mickey Mouse. That's right.
see the headline?
Doesn't matter.
Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh. Daddy, Daddy? Daddy, Chris. Daddy, Chris. That's right.
Does that taste good? Is that good?
Well, you saw a tiger and said tiger, and he said a tiger goes far.
What's a tiger say?
That's right.
What else?
You're cool to badger.
Do you want to read about South America?
Just saw the Cookie Monster.
There's a Cookie Monster right here. Right there.